Hello everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to continue with the RIIZE individual readings, and in this video we're going to focus on Wonbin. And for those of you that do not know, this reading will be divided into 4 parts, which will be his current energy, his career, his love life, and then any healing messages that have to come through. In the description below I will have the timestamps in case you want to jump around those different sections. If not, I will start off with his current energy. So how is he doing right now? So what is Wonbin's current energy? So the first card that came out is the Eight of Shells, which is the equivalent to the Eight of Cups. Here we have Quest and Renewal. So it seems like he may be walking away from something, going on to this new venture. We also have the Four of Feathers reverse, or the Four of Swords. I noticed that I'm already putting the cards where they usually go, and I think that's interesting. And then we have the Five of Feathers reverse, or the Five of Swords reverse. So with the Eight of Shells, that kind of shows that he's walking away from a situation that did not serve him, or something that it wasn't necessarily bad, or it wasn't like a situation that fell apart. It was just that it wasn't necessarily satisfying to him. It did not meet his expectations, or it wasn't like he walked away from a path that, even though it was not bad, it was not really what he wanted, and because of that he preferred to like walk away from that path and venture into something new. With this Eight of Shells, the starfish makes me think of having the ability to like a rebirth. So even if he were to be put in a very difficult situation, he will be able to kind of rise from the ashes, that type of vibe. Because starfish are very good. Like, I think if you cut part of them, they're able to regrow that part that was cut off. So that makes me think that he's very good at kind of having this rebirth type of moment. So even if he goes through a very hard time, he somehow manages to stand up once again from all this trouble and all this heartache. Also, with the Eight of Shells, it usually talks about someone that not only are they walking away from a situation, but whatever their journey takes them is one that will be met with obstacles and challenges. And the only way to survive that path is by using their intuition. So that kind of shows that he may be kind of walking away from his comfort zone right now, or maybe he's doing something slightly different. And even if it's very challenging, he's not afraid of taking those challenges head on and just powering through. Now, the other card that we have here is the Four of Feathers reversed. Now, this card reverse is not necessarily that good, because the Four of Feathers talks about someone that is resting, someone that is keeping a calm mind. To me, personally, the Four of Swords reverse means someone that could be going through a bit of anxiety. With him, it doesn't feel super bad necessarily, especially with the cards that are next to it. The Four of Feathers reverse makes me think that he's just busy, so he doesn't really have time for himself, and he doesn't really have time to breathe and relax and rest. And that reason is because he's very busy. Now that he's doing something new, or that he's going on this new path, maybe starting a new cycle in his life, he has been super busy, so he has not really had enough time to rest. He has not had a lot of time to even think. So it doesn't feel like this Four of Feathers is too bad. Like, I don't think he feels anxiety. I don't think he might be a bit stressed, but I don't think he's reached a super detrimental point, as much as he is just extremely busy that he doesn't have a lot of time for himself. But I don't think he is necessarily displeased with that. I think it's just the type of thing where someone's super laser focused on something, that time passes by very quickly. So I do feel that he's just kept himself very busy with this new venture he has started, or this new chapter that he's on. So I don't think he has had even the time to feel like he needs a break, if that makes sense. So I guess that shows that he hasn't pushed himself past the limit. He hasn't reached a breaking point. That's what I'm getting at. Also, with the bear, it tells me that he may have come out of hibernation, or he may have had this wake up call, and he kind of like felt like, oh, I feel called out to do this, or like this is my life purpose, or this path is one that really got his attention or whatever, and after taking it, he hasn't woken up. Now, the other reason why this Four of Feathers reverse didn't feel too bad, like he's not reaching a breaking point, he's not really anxious, is because of the Five of Feathers reverse. So usually the Five of Feathers upright talks about winning at all costs. It talks about someone that may have won the battle but not the war, that kind of vibe. Is this whole idea of like someone that may have been victorious in something, but in the background there is like this warning of like whoever they defeated may come back for like revenge or for a rematch. So that kind of shows like it hasn't ended. It's not the end yet. But with this card reverse, it tells me that he doesn't feel pressure to succeed, or he doesn't feel pressure to win. And what I mean by that is like he is kind of going with the flow, and he's not too worried, or he has not put a lot of weight in the results of whatever new journey he has embarked on. So one of the big things that I'm getting is like, let's say the new journey that the Eight of Shells is describing is becoming a K-pop idol. Well, he did that, he put the time, the effort, it has not been an easy journey, and now that he's an idol, he is just kind of going with the flow. He may not be like, I need to succeed, or he may not be like, I need to reach these goals, or I have to accomplish these things. I think he just kind of went with the flow. Like, he was like, oh, being an idol, okay, let's try it out, let's see where that takes me. That kind of vibe. If I remember correctly, he's a Pisces, and Pisces is mutable water, so it's the embodiment of going with the flow, is like adapting, adjusting, and constantly just moving and transforming. So this Five of Feathers reverse tells me that the reason why this card is reversed is like he does not have this idea of like he has to accomplish a very specific goal in a very specific way in order for it to be successful. I think he's a bit more open to whatever happens, and he's just kind of going with the flow and just seeing where life takes him. I do feel like he's not too emotionally invested in what he's doing. I think he enjoys it, I think he likes it, but he's not emotionally invested in the sense that it could get in the way of his ability to just get started, or in his ability to continue in his journey. So currently, he is kind of just going with the flow, just doing things. He is walking away from situations that don't really satisfy him, or do not align to his purpose, or do not align with his goals in life. So he's not afraid from walking away from situations that don't serve him, but at the same time, he is also not too hard on the results of things. So if it's like manifestation, he's not too concerned with how he's gonna get it, or how it's going to happen, or when it's going to happen. He just trusts that things are gonna work out, basically. But let's go on to the second section of his reading, which is his career. So let's figure out what's going on with Wonbin's career. So we have lime with the word luck. Here we have the water element in the symbol for Capricorn. With the luck, the first thing that I heard was something about something like it was not easy. So even if he's lucky, it was not just, how should I put it? I think the luck that we see here does not mean to discredit his hard work, as much as it's just saying that he took an opportunity and he's just going with it. Like, he's taking full advantage of the opportunity that was presented to him. So it's like the middle, like the whole idea of like, you can put a lot of work in, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck to be in the right place in the right time. But there's also this whole idea of like, even if you're in the right place and the right time, if you don't put the time and effort necessary to maintain that opportunity, then you will lose it just as easily as it was given to you. So I do feel that with him, this luck card. Oh, there you go. The word that came to my mind when I saw this card was bittersweet because of the sourness of limes. Um, Also, with the water element, it tells me that in his career, he needs to be emotionally invested or have some sort of emotional connection to his work. So that could explain what the Eight of Shells was here. This just kind of shows that if he doesn't feel connected some way, shape, or form to what he's doing, it's very easy for him to just walk away from it and look for something that fulfills his emotional satisfaction. He doesn't care how difficult or challenging it will be to accomplish his goals or to find something that will fulfill him. With the Capricorn energy, this tells me that he is very ambitious and he is not afraid of encountering obstacles, encountering opposition, or just going through difficult challenges. Like, he's not afraid of that. And his fearlessness towards the unknown, or his fearlessness to opposition or any resistance towards his dreams from the universe, from destiny, or from other people, his ability to just not care about that or not let it affect his desire to accomplish his goals is one of the reasons why he's able to succeed in life, and one of the reasons why he's able to easily walk away from situations. Because when we saw earlier the Eight of Shells, one of the first things that I got was someone that's walking away from their comfort zone. And that's usually not a meaning that I get from that card, but I can see how that makes sense, because one of the reasons sometimes that people stay in situations that are not bad but don't make them happy is because they're staying in their comfort zone. It's like sometimes staying in someone's comfort zone could mean a situation that's not favorable for them. It's kind of like if you already know how messed up something is, sometimes people kind of stay in that energy because they fear the unknown of walking away from a situation like that. So I do feel that with him, this bittersweetness, this Capricorn energy, just shows that he is not afraid of going out of his comfort zone. He's not afraid of venturing into the unknown and trying new things. And he's also not afraid of walking away from situations, from people, or environments that don't emotionally satisfy him. So he's a risk taker for sure. And he's not afraid of putting the hard work to open up a new path for him. Let's see. His career. Oh, it's only 2 cards. That's fine. So we have Avenor with Make Peace with Your Past. And we have number 27 with Resilience, Burn Away the Past. So I want, first of all, with just the imagery of these 2 cards, I was going to mention how similar they were and how that's very interesting, right? You have these 2 figures dressed in white with the highlights of yellows and oranges. I mean by color, right? This makes me think, and then both of them talk about the past. So this makes me think that he may have had, well, in his career, he may have had this encounter or gone through an experience that was not very favorable for him. Maybe something in his past. I don't know. I don't think it's too tragic or too bad. Like, in the past, he may have felt like he missed a lot of opportunities out of fear, because when we see like this potion or this fire within the abdominal area of this figure, it makes me think that in the past, because it makes me think of the sacral chakra, so in the past he may have missed a lot of opportunities out of fear, or there were things that he had desired, things that he had wanted, or ambitions that he had wanted to go after, but he didn't, maybe out of fear, or the opportunity never presented itself. And because of that, I do feel that now in the present moment he really goes out of his way to emphasize to himself the importance of taking risks and the importance of trying new things or jumping into the unknown, right? So taking leaps of faith, if you will. If we and that kind of fits with the resilience and the burn away the past. It makes me think of like he's not afraid of getting rid of the old and bringing in the new. He's not afraid of shedding old skin or shedding old ways of thinking and welcoming a new perspective or welcoming a new way of doing things or a new lifestyle. There's a sense of like he's not afraid of reinventing himself. So in his career, something like this could be very useful in a sense of like he is not afraid of putting a lot of time and effort to accomplish his goals, his dreams. He's not afraid of putting a lot of work or whatever is necessary to succeed in his career. He is aware of the bittersweetness that comes with the industry that he's in. There's a sense of like, success in the industry feels good or is something to look forward to, but then the responsibilities and the backlash that comes with, or like the dark side of the soul is something that came up. It's like the dark side of things or whatever is hidden within his industry is something that makes the experience of being an artist a bit bittersweet. At least based on what the cards are saying here. But there seems to be a lot of baggage or a lot of things from the past that he is working on letting go of. And he's kind of like reinventing himself. But let's get more details about his career. So this card just flew out is the King of Feathers or the King of Swords. And here we have a lion. So this makes me think that he wants to be on the... I got something about like his A game. So like he wants to bring the best version of himself constantly for his career. He wants to be on the top. He wants to be successful. He wants to be seen. Because the lion makes me think of Leo energy. And Leo energy is usually known for being the center of attention or for liking to be... Like Leo energy likes to be under the spotlight. Or they like to be seen, if you want to put it that way. Anyway. So the King of Feathers, we have logic and justice because the King of Feathers or the King of Swords is usually connected to Libra energy. This makes me think that for his career, he's pretty balanced, he's in harmony, he's thinking about things logically, so he's sticking to what works. And I'm not saying that he's not taking risks as much as he is doing the routine or he's doing what's necessary. Like he's taking care of his responsibilities, let's put it that way. And the Justice card makes me think that he is trying to stay balanced with everything in his life, trying to stay healthy but trying to work, trying to take care of his responsibilities but rewarding himself with enjoyment, being able to take breaks but also being able to work. So he's doing a very good job at, or he's at least working very hard to have a very balanced work environment or just a work mentality, so like that he's able to survive the industry that he's in. Also to be able to think and see clearly. So he's trying to keep a balanced lifestyle in his career, so like that he has a clear mind when making decisions and doing things in his work. Now the last card that we have here for his career is number 15 with the Shadow. And here we have self-empowerment and ambition. And if I'm correct, number 15 is the number of the devil. So this shows that in his career, he's doing a lot of shadow work. He is working hard to not stay tied down by the expectations and by the environment that he's in. And also with the self-improvement and ambitions of the shadow card, it tells me that he's, even when he's not doing anything, even when he's just sitting down or staying laid back, he keeps a very close eye on his environment because he's already thinking of his next move. Like the best way that I can describe his energy is like a combination of Pisces energy, because I think he's a Pisces sun, and Capricorn energy. Is like someone that is able to be super malleable, flexible, and going with the flow, but at the same time has like this connection of like the bigger picture, this idea of like staying calm, staying balanced, keeping a clear mind, and being able to make decisions. I do feel that in his career, He has worked very hard to become better, to improve as a person and in his skills. But at the same, because he's very ambitious, so he puts a lot of time and effort in reaching those desires, those ambitions. But it also makes me think with the way those like figures are sitting down is that even when he's relaxing or laying down or like he's not actively pursuing his goals, he is very receptive. So he's gathering either information, he's either planning, or he is observing the potential opportunities that could come out in the future that will help him and benefit him in his career. So he's very observant. Now let's go on to the next section of his reading, which is his love life. So let's figure out what's going on with Wonbin's love life. So the card came out very quickly. We have number 36 with Witch, and the phrase here is the magic you seek is inside of you, let it flow. So this just kind of shows that for his love life, he is not too worried or concerned about it. He may have just left it up to destiny and fate. Like he could have just not, like he's not actively pursuing anything within his love life. Like he's just waiting for the right time or the right opportunity. And in this sense, I mean like maybe the right person, or maybe being in a more relaxed state where he may have more time for a partnership. A random song just kind of came to my mind. Of course, one of them is Boom Boom Bass by RIIZE for whatever reason. But the other one, I think it's somewhat a new song, and that's why I can't pinpoint how it goes. Like I had it for a split second, and then it just went away. Anyway, so what's going on with Wonbin's like love life? So the cards that came out, we have Nasturtium, Victory, which is an air element, and we have Aries energy, and then we have P with communication, and we have an earth element with Pisces energy. This kind of shows that if he were to be looking for any romance or anything in his love life, one of the things that he will treasure or one of the things that he will value a lot is having very strong communication. There is this sense of with this Aries and Pisces, those two signs are right next to each other, so he may find love or romance during the spring. So that will be mid-February to mid-April. Like that time window, that could be where, or I guess when he could find romance. Don't ask me the year, I have no clue. Again, with this Victory, it tells me that he may look forward to romance and to love. I just think he's not putting too much time and effort into that area of his life quite yet. I think he's just waiting for like the right opportunity or the right person to enter his life before he actively pursues it. Again, he's very receptive, so he's kind of like attracting in a very magnetic way for relationships to come his way, like potential people that he could date. But aside from that, I don't think he's too concerned about that right now, or he's not focusing on that right now. If anything, he's working very hard on his own desires, his own ambitions, and his own goals that seem to be a bit leaning more towards his career. With the P, it makes me like when I see pea pods, I think that's what it's called, or like this like little bags with, well, when I see this, I just think of soul family. So I do think that when it comes to love or to romance, he wants to be with someone that feels like a soulmate or feels like soul family, someone that he has like a very strong emotional and spiritual connection with, someone that feels destined to him, or someone that like by magic the relationship kind of just flourish in a romantic way, that kind of vibe. But yeah, if we look at the cards here as well, it just feels like, I guess with Victory, it could mean that he may have already found someone that he's potentially interested in, or he's just very busy working on himself and just being the best version of himself before he kind of integrates, was the word that came up, or kind of mixes in with like a group of people. So again, that makes me think that right now he's working on himself before he can enter or become part of like a soul family or a community that he feels very closely connected to. Something like that. But to end off this section, let's take out some tarot to get a bit more details about his love life. So the card that just flew out is the Three of Crystals, or the Three of Pentacles, with collaboration and productivity, and we have a bee. This makes me think that he's focused on his career right now, and if anything, if romance were to ever come to him, he will meet them through a third party. So that makes me think like he'll meet this person through a friend, or like he will not have direct contact with them, like meeting someone for the first time in like love at first sight, that kind of thing. Not necessarily. I do feel that if he were to date someone, it could be someone that he worked with, so a co-worker potentially, or someone that he collaborated with once, or he will meet a romantic partner through a co-worker or someone that he worked with. So I don't think he will have direct contact with whoever he dates, or like whoever, like I don't know who the cards are describing, but there's a chance that whoever is being presented here is someone that he heard of before he actually got to meet this person personally. So again, it could be a friend or a coworker that will talk about someone that they know, and because of that, Wonbin knows about them, and then eventually when he meets that person that he had heard so much about, maybe that's when a connection is established that could eventually work into a romantic venture. So again, this makes me think that the reason why this is coming up is that since he's focused so much on himself, it will be kind of difficult for romance to enter his life unless it came through his career, because that's what he's working on. It could be through a collaboration, like he had a collaboration with this person and then they just kind of hit it off in a romantic way. But I do feel that whoever he might date next, or whoever might be a bit more of like endgame for him or something serious, could be someone that he meets because of his work, through a collaboration, or through someone that he knows because of his work. Right, so like a friend. But let's get a bit more details about his love life. I do have to say that I find it, maybe because he's a bit older, but I find it interesting that we're actually getting stuff related to love, because usually in this area for newer groups and younger people, it is more about like self-improvement and self-growth and not so much about romance. So all I'm saying is that this is interesting. The other two cards, we have two aces. We have the Ace of Swords reverse and the Ace of Crystals reverse, with the keywords for the Ace of Crystals is manifestation and prosperity. So here we have a panda and a goat. This makes me think that in his love life, he does not have direct communication with someone that he's either interested in, or someone that he is destined to date for whatever reason. Now, I don't know if dating this person is because they're endgame somehow, or because they will have a significant impact or influence in his life. So you know when people do like pick a card readings, or like you're watching a pick a card reading about love, it could mean endgame as much as it could mean someone that will have like the next relationship, or someone that will have a significant impact, that because of that it comes up in the cards, right? So with him, I don't really know what like person is being described through this reading, or like what nurture, what state, no, what type of romance he will have with this person. But the Ace of Crystals kind of shows that it could definitely be a business partner, someone that he could collaborate with or work with, or someone that works in the same industry as him. But the Ace of Feathers reverse just shows that there's no communication, direct communication with this person yet. So either he doesn't know this person yet, he may not have heard too much of this person quite yet, or he just hasn't met this person personally, like physically, face to face, and because of that, he hasn't established a direct connection to them. But I don't know, it may be like whoever is being shown in his love life could be someone that he wants to collaborate with, or someone that wants to collaborate with him, or it is someone that he will end up working with, and then it becomes romantic. Now, to end up his reading, let's go on to the last section, which is any healing messages that have to come through for Wonbin. So never mind, 3 cards came out. Perfect. I thought 2 came out, but it was 3. So we have the Armadillo Spirit with set healthy boundaries. We have the Lizard Spirit with dream the world into being. And we have the Snake Spirit with time to heal. So the healing messages for him. So with a set healthy boundaries, I don't feel this is connected to other people, because usually when people say to create healthy boundaries, people usually use that when it's like when you're dealing with other people. But I think with him, setting healthy boundaries is with his way of dealing with the world, were the words that came through. So what I mean by that is that to not be too reckless. Yes, it's good to go with the flow, as we saw earlier. It is good to be a risk taker, take the leap of faith, as we saw earlier with his current energy and a bit in his career. But the armadillo makes me think that to set healthy boundaries, the universe is trying to encourage Wonbin to not be too reckless and to think carefully before he goes on to trying something new in his life. So there's this sense of like either like the best example I can think of is like if he were to get bored easily when he's trying something new, then he jumps into that like the next project or the next chapter or something like that. And one of the consequences about having that type of acting that way is that maybe he doesn't give enough time and effort into allowing a project to flourish fully. So either he gets bored easily, and because of that he walks away from situations, or like the healthy boundary here is like for him to not push himself too hard when he is trying something new. So when he takes that leap of faith and is starting like a new journey, he should set healthy boundaries so like that he doesn't force himself too much to get this new journey going, if that makes sense. So that he shouldn't put too much energy or effort that could hurt him in order to like let this new idea take off. So set a healthy boundary for him just means for him to not get too ahead of himself, or for him to not put too much pressure to try new things. So there's this thing of like, yes, working hard is important, trying new things is important, going over obstacles is necessary, but not to the point where it could help like affect his health or could get in the way of his responsibilities, or get in the way of his safety as well. So I guess they don't want, the message here is for him to not be reckless, and taking risks is necessary. Being a risk taker, it does not mean to throw caution into the wind. It talks about taking a leap of faith and like trying new things and breaking past limiting beliefs, but not putting himself in danger or not pushing himself to the point of burnout. Now, the dream the world into being with the lizard spirit makes me think that manifestation is something that the universe may be working with him. I think he may do things a bit unconsciously, but I think he puts too much weight on his own efforts or too much weight on his own actions. But I do feel the universe wants him to practice a little bit more of this feminine energy of laying back and observing the situation and attracting opportunities into his life, rather than constantly chasing after these opportunities or putting all of this effort in making his dreams come true, or putting a lot of effort in achieving his goals, right? So the lizard spirit just feels like the advice here is for him to not do too much. Because even though he may not be too concerned with the results of whatever he's working on, that does not mean that he doesn't work himself to the bone to get anywhere in life. So I do feel that the listener here is just telling him to sometimes relax, and instead of being in this very observant mode of planning what he can do, sometimes it will be necessary to just observe and take everything in to know when a good opportunity comes through, or like leave room for good opportunities to enter his life, rather for him to waste and spend all of this energy chasing after those opportunities, something like that. Now lastly, with the snake spirit, we have time to heal. So it seems like the advice here is for him to overcome whatever baggage he may have in the past, because in his career we did get a lot about like burn the past and like, what was the, hold up, let me check, make peace with your past and burn away the past. So I don't really know what baggage could be holding him back, but whatever it is left a very bittersweet impression for him, and because of that it feels like the universe is encouraging him to, I don't know, it almost feels like someone that is running away from their past. So there could be something that he wants to overcompensate, is the word that came up, or like maybe he experienced something in the past, like some sort of failure in the past, that could be pushing him now to work very hard to succeed, even if he doesn't put too much thought into winning at all costs, if that makes sense. So like, I do feel that he thinks his hard work and effort will get him far in life, and I think he prefers to do that over stealing opportunities from others or something along those lines, if that makes sense. So yeah, anyway, with the snake spirit, it kind of makes me think of the shadow card and this whole idea of like reinventing himself or having this phoenix. Oh, the phoenix moment that we talked about was with the starfish card, or like the eight of shells. So it feels like the universe is giving like the, like a green light or like a big thumbs up, or like the get go, like giving him the green light to do some shedding, to get rid of the past, overcome obstacles. Yeah, with the snake spirit, it's just like the universe is encouraging him to maybe take a bit of time off to reflect and have like this phoenix moment where he gets rid of the old, bring in the new, and overcome some sort of limiting belief, or just overcome an obstacle that he may have, because he may be holding on to like a burden that is unnecessary. One of the reasons, if we see these three cards together, there may be a chance where they're saying that he should make a healthy boundary that he should set is to put some time aside to take care of himself and focus on himself, to like reevaluate what he desires in life and what his goals are, or whatever it is that he aspires to do. And during that journey, he will be able to heal and overcome anything from the past that was holding him back, like any baggage, and kind of like just raise, like just rise from the ashes and become like a new person. There's a sense of like not running away from his problems, or not, yeah, something like his constant desire to try new things, go on to new journeys, could also be like a lack of commitment. So he may have commitment issues, or he may find it very difficult to concentrate on just one goal, and because of that he's constantly jumping between like projects or something. And I think life wants him to not do that and instead focus on his healing, because the reason why he's like constantly jumping around could be because of something in the past that's holding him back even till this day. And I think he may just not really notice it unless he goes out of his way to figure out what it is that causes him to act in this way of like constantly needing to walk away. Something like that. At this point, I feel super loopy, so I don't know if it's because I'm sleepy or if I'm tired or if connecting to his energy is one where it's kind of hard to stay grounded, and it's just because everyone's different. So some people, when you connect to their energy, you feel super optimistic and energized. With other people, it could really drain your energy. Your in this case being like, if you're like reading for someone or connecting to someone's energy, like sometimes connecting to someone could um, make it so they kind of just drain the energy out of you. So with him, I do feel that just his way of thinking is not grounded necessarily. It's just kind of like up in the air. It's like his way of thinking or his way of viewing things is so, it's not grounded enough. So when I connect to his energy, I feel like I'm just floating constantly, and it may make it kind of difficult to bring down these messages to be understood through this video, if that makes sense. Anyway, I will leave this here. I hope you guys liked his reading. I hope you enjoy it. I do wonder what baggage he may have or what shadow he carries, because whatever it is something that he has hold on to. I just don't know how conscious he is of that. But it definitely feels like the universe is advising him to look at it and work through that, so that he's able to reinvent himself and be like a new person. Anyway, I hope you guys liked this reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned from it, or at least found it entertaining. Thank you so much for all the love and support you have shown me and the channel. I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I will see you on the next one. Love and healing from my part to you, and bye.